All right, everybody, I'm back with a brand new DC update. Now, real quick, before just as I got done posting my last video, there was an attempted, I don't want to say the word, but our former president, Donald Trump, definitely had somebody try to take his life, okay? And if you want to hear my insights on that, I am willing to do a video if you guys show interest. I want to keep my channel political free and focused on entertainment, but I have seen some real evil in this country over the last week since this, well, it hasn't even been a week, it's been 3 days since that event. And I, especially coming from those in Hollywood who are wishing a different outcome, and I find it vile and disgusting. It is true evil, and people really need to look inside themselves about what's going on, and it's sad to see. It really is. But what we're going to look at here today in regards to DC is something interesting, because in my last video, I told you we're going to get stupid and silly on the DCU, and I'm doubling down on that, especially after some information that just got released today. We're actually going to look at an article where someone who's in charge of doing the Max show, Creature Commandos, which is going to premiere later this year, we're getting more of the same from James Gunn, and they even admit it. And we're going to look at some stuff. Also, the San Diego ComicCon, there's some information coming out of the San Diego ComicCon, some merchandise. We're also going to look at the site and see what some of that merchandise is, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. But let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing I wanted to share is this just epic shot of, Ben Affleck as Batman. I think this is an amazing photo. I will share this in my folder of photos. I haven't added to it in a long time. This will be the first photo that I've shown, but I think this is a very cool looking shot right there. All right, so this is coming from Grace Randolph. We don't know if this is true or not. She's not always 100% correct, but it says the Batman Part 2 cast will be announced at the San Diego Comic-Con. And again, that is coming from Grace Randolph herself. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this article in regards to Creature Commandos. So this is from The Wrap. Creature Commandos EP says animated series will be the first expression of James Gunn's DC Universe. Dean Lorey tells The Wrap fans will be really encouraged by the Max adaptation. Now, I'm very curious to what fans he is talking about, because as I could see it out here, there are James Gunn fans and then there's DC fans. Now, there are a lot of James Gunn fans claiming to be true DC fans, and that if you don't eat his stuff up, you're not a true DC fan. I am definitely not part of that camp. I've seen enough of Gunn stuff to know that I don't want him in charge. I don't. And there are some channels and some people that can be really optimistic about Superman, and I want to be. Trust me, guys. I want that movie to be amazing. I want to be able to go see it and come in and tell you guys that that movie is going to be off the charts amazing. I would love for that to happen. I don't see that as a possibility, though. If it is, I will tell you. But what fans is he talking about? Because he makes a statement in here that leads me to believe that if you're a Gunn fan, you're going to enjoy this, but if you're not, you're not. And he goes on, this is what this article says. It says, James Gunn fans may not be surprised by the direction of the upcoming Creature Commandos animated series, but that's not a bad thing if you ask executive producer Dean Lorey. That's going to be the first expression of James Gunn's DC Universe. We're considering that canon, and I think it expresses his perspective tonally on where he wants the universe to go. Lorey noted that the Max show, which follows government official Amanda Waller as she develops a black ops team of monsters, is nothing new. What's crazy about this is he says, I think it expresses his perspective tonally on where he wants the universe to go. When I did a video months ago talking about the guy playing Rick Flag Sr., how he was in an interview and talked about how sexually disgusting and derogatory this show is going to be, but also very funny. That's everything James Gunn does. It's who James Gunn is. And it looks like the DC Universe, according to what Lorey is saying, we're going to get more of the same. And that this is supposed to set the tone of the overall DC Universe. It's kind of scary, guys. He said, it's Suicide Squad. He's done it, Lorey said. And Suicide Squad is the second worst producing project of the whole DCEU. I cannot stress this enough. People didn't go see it in theaters. It didn't stream well on HBO Max. At the time, it had quite a few views, but the install base was very low. And even to this day, people don't go back and watch it, and it sold like dog crap on physical media. So it was a bomb all the way around. Doesn't matter what the critics say. The critics don't pay for the tickets. They don't contribute to the overall success of anything. And so he said it's Suicide Squad. He's done it. People aren't going to be surprised by what it is, but I think they'll be really encouraged to see how completely it's going to inform this new version of the DCU, which I'm very excited about. Now, I'd like to know what that statement exactly means. Like, are they going to explain how it kicks off the DCU, or how this is the definitive version of the DCU? As co-creator of the Max original Harley Quinn, as well as its upcoming spin-off series Kite Man, hell yeah, who even asked for that? That's another thing. Why are they even producing that cartoon? Why? Laurie has a history of creating animated series within the DC universe. However, Creature Commandos, which is completely written by Gunn, will mark the first TV installment of the DCU. Gunn's soft reboot of the DC Extended Universe. Notice how he says not DC Universe, soft reboot of the DC Extended Universe. And so it's a soft reboot, guys. This is not a hard reboot. To me, it sounds like they're not even going to explain what happened. The show is expected to premiere in December on Max. We'll see if they change that and put it off until... My guess is that I'm guessing they're probably going to hold that off until next year just to get people ready for Superman. They also talk about Harley Quinn Season 5 coming out. I just don't see this as a good thing, guys. I don't see it as a good thing. The only thing this is good for are the people that are fans of Gunn. But for everybody else who's got a mind that's higher than a 13 to 17-year-old, this is not good news. James Gunn does vile, disgusting jokes in his movies. He's just juvenile, and it's for the lowest common denominator. And I'm really worried about the DCU. And every time I turn around, something like this comes out that backs up my fears. I would like it to be different, but all of the evidence shows that we're headed for an epic disaster. All right, now let's take a look at the San Diego ComicCon stuff. All right, so this is DC Comics San Diego ComicCon 2024 exclusives, updated on July 15th. So this was yesterday. So update number 2, DC shows off a big sneak peek of their merch for San Diego Comic-Con this year, which includes t-shirts, hoodies, hats, totes, pins, and more. And you can see that they are definitely showing off the Superman shield from the theatrical version. I don't know what other version there would be. They've got a Wonder Woman shirt, an Absolute Batman t-shirt. This stuff looks interesting. It doesn't actually let you click on it to get closer to be able to really look at it. But they've got a Creature Commandos t-shirt, DC, and then these hats. Now, I love hats, okay? You see me with my I need to get me some DC hats that I can wear during my videos. There's a Batman hat in my comic shop I've been looking at for a long time. I'd like this DC hat as well as the Batman hat. Not interested in the Superman. I'm not going to help promote it until I see the movie and see if it's going to be any good. The Gotham City Law hat, that's kind of odd. You've got the pins, the totes. Now, this is pretty cool. Batmobile Mystery Pin Collection. That's pretty neat. I wouldn't mind picking that up. I'm not going to the San Diego Comic-Con, but you can see here that they've got the Batman symbol mixed with King Kong and Godzilla. That actually looks pretty cool. I like this with Batman down there at the bottom. That's actually a pretty cool photo or comic cover. So they show some more of it down here. These totes, Batman the Animated Series, I would eat that stuff up. I am a massive Batman the Animated Series fan. I own all kinds of toys from the series. I have a video on here of the unboxing of the, which I had owned since it came out, but an unboxing of the Batmobile from Batman the Animated Series from Kenner. There's some pretty cool stuff. I love that series to death. Then when you come down here, it's very interesting. You can see All-Star Superman with the pin, with the look of it. It's All-Star Superman #1, but they're using the logo from the film. There's also this Absolute Power thing coming out, this story from DC. I may talk about that on my channel because I'm really, there was a couple of stories that just ended in Superman with what's his name? I hate it when I do this stuff. Brainiac, good grief. With Brainiac, which was a really good story, very interesting story. And then you had this Batman story with a brand new character that they created for the Batman universe. And it's going to kick off this Absolute Power thing with Waller. So if you guys are interested in me talking about that, I would have no problem talking about that series. I'm reading as it does get released. So there's some pretty cool things in here, and I guess there's going to be this Catwoman Legacy story coming out, apparently. The Legacy Cowl. So this is going to be the new installment of the physical digital media comic titled Catwoman, The Legacy Cowl. Will be on Thursday, July 25th. This is something I'll have them actually add to my bag. I'm really interested in the Bruce Wayne, Catwoman, Selena Kyle dynamic that they've been doing in the Batman comics for the last 5 years. I think it's phenomenal. At one point, they almost got married, and it's just, I love the whole dynamic between them. It's a pretty cool thing to see. So it's some interesting stuff coming out. And then they talk about this game that I haven't covered on my channel yet, but Meta's coming out with this Arkham game called Arkham Shadow, and it's exclusive to the MetaQuest 3. Again, I think I talked about it once. I don't know why they're doing it on just the MetaQuest. Make it available for other platforms as well. Like, it's just not going to do well. All right, guys, so there's the information on the San Diego Comic-Con. All right, so what do you guys think about all this information that's getting released? What do you think is going to happen with the DCU moving forward? Like, seriously, what do you guys think about the tone? Do you think I'm spot on? Do you think I'm wrong? I don't think I've been wrong on my channel yet with anything that's happened since the beginning I started my channel. I think everything I've talked about has come to pass except for the sale of Warner Brothers, which I still believe is going to happen. And I still back that up by people talking about, people in the industry, actors, producers who said they're waiting until the studio sold before they decide to work with them. And also the fact that there are inside heads who have confirmed that the whole reason they're starting this whole DCU is to make it look appealing to buyers. And so I do think they're going to be sold at some point in the future. And with their stocks as low as they are, they can only go up. And there needs to be somebody who picks this company up that actually cares about these characters. Because James Gunn is all about James Gunn. And I'm sticking to that. Like, I'm not going to, save face and just change direction because I think a group of people on YouTube might like that. I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm going to stay that way. I guarantee you guys I'm going to stay true. I'm not just going to flip a switch one day and all of a sudden love the DCU unless the projects are actually good. And I will judge those products based on exactly what those products are, not about who made them or the studio behind them. I promise to go into every project and give you my 100% honest opinion on those projects. And if you don't believe me, go look at my Guardians of the Galaxy 3 review from, the movie that James Gunn did. I'm very honest with everything. All right, guys, so there's my update for the day. I do appreciate, if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. Share it. It helps the YouTube algorithm tremendously. I will see you guys on the next video.